All right, today we are diving into the history of a database that's, well, built a little differently. It's not about rows and columns, not really. It's built for the language of AI, these things called high-dimensional vectors. This is the story of Milvus, and it all starts by completely rethinking what it means to search for something. I mean, think about it. What if you could search for something and the engine just got it? It understood the meaning and the context behind your words, not just the literal keywords you typed in. That's the huge question, the fundamental problem that vector databases were born to solve. And honestly, it's a total game changer. You see, for decades, databases were amazing at one thing, finding exact matches. You search for Apple, you get results for Apple. Simple, clean. But then came the AI explosion, and with it, this whole new universe of data. Data that's all about nuance, context, and the relationships between ideas. The old systems, well, they just weren't built for that world. And the difference here is really night and day. On one side, you have the structured world of traditional databases. Everything fits neatly into rows and columns, and you're just looking for exact keywords. But on the other side is the world of AI data, which is messy, it's unstructured stuff like images, audio, and huge blocks of text. The only way AI can make sense of it all is by turning it into these mathematical representations, these vectors, that actually capture meaning. It's like they're speaking two completely different languages. And that's exactly the challenge that created the need for a brand new kind of database, one that was designed from the ground up to speak the language of meaning. And this is right where Milvus enters the picture. So the story really kicks off in 2019. A company called Zillis, which was founded by Charles C.I., decided to launch the Milvus project. And their goal was super clear from the get-go. Build a database that was laser-focused on managing and searching these vector embeddings that power AI. And what started as this focused project has now blown up into a massive open-source powerhouse. Okay, so what is a vector database, really? Put simply, it's a system purpose-built to handle these vector embeddings, and its superpower is searching for things that are conceptually similar, not just textually identical. It's the difference between finding a specific word and finding a whole idea. But how in the world does a database search for meaning? That sounds kind of magical, right? Well, the process is called similarity search, and it's this really fascinating mix of data science and some seriously high-performance computing. It all boils down to these things called vector embeddings. You can almost think of them as a universal translator for data. A machine learning model takes any piece of information, a picture of a dog, a paragraph about finance, whatever, and converts it into a long string of numbers. But here's the magic. Similar concepts, like a photo of a dog and the word puppy, end up with very similar sets of numbers. They become close neighbors in this vast, invisible, multi-dimensional space. So when you go to do a search, the process is actually pretty elegant. First, whatever you're searching for, whether it's an image you upload or a question you type, gets turned into its own vector. Then, Milvus zips through its database and calculates the distance between your query vector and all the other vectors it has stored. And finally, it just hands back the ones that are the closest neighbors. Those are your most similar results. Now, you might be thinking, wouldn't checking against billions of vectors take forever? And you'd be right, if it had to do it one by one. But this is where the genius of Milvus's architecture really shines. It's pluggable, meaning you can use these incredibly powerful open-source tools like FIs or algorithms like HNSW. These create special indexes. Think of them like a super efficient map of all your data that let Milvus find the closest matches almost instantly, without checking every single vector. This technology might sound a bit abstract, but I can almost guarantee you are using it every single day, probably without even realizing it. Let's take a look at how Milvus and vector databases are actually the engine behind so many AI tools we now take for granted. Seriously, ever done an image search where you use another image to find similar ones? That's vector search. Ever gotten a product or movie recommendation that felt just a little too perfect? Yep, that's similarity search. Even the memory and advanced chatbots that lets them remember your conversation, or the ability for generative AI to pull in relevant facts on the fly. So often, there's a vector database like Milvus working tirelessly in the background. It's no surprise that a technology this powerful has kicked off a brand new kind of database race. Milvus is a huge player, but it isn't the only one out there. Understanding the competition really helps to see where Milvus fits in and what makes it unique.
So in this space, you've got a few key players. You've got proprietary services like Pinecone, which really focuses on making things easy and simple for developers. Then you have other great open source projects like Weaviate, which has a cool focus on building machine learning models right into the database itself. But Milvus's real claim to fame is its maturity as an open source project, its incredible flexibility with all those different indexing methods we talked about, and the fact that it was purpose-built from day one with one single obsessive focus: high-performance vector search.
And that really is the core of it all. While some other systems have added vector search as a feature, Milvus was designed from its very DNA to be a massively scalable, high-speed engine for similarity search. Its whole architecture is a reflection of that original, powerful vision. So let's just end with this one big thought. For decades, the most valuable data was the stuff that was structured and exact. But as AI gets better and better at understanding us, at understanding context and nuance, you have to wonder, is meaning itself about to become the most valuable data in the world? It's a huge shift, and databases like Milvus are right at the very heart of it.